A lone figure stands in the sweltering heat of a Roman training ground, iron chains biting into his wrists. He is not a citizen. He is not free. He is a gladiator, a man meant to die for Rome's entertainment. But this man will do something no slave was ever supposed to do. He will shake the foundations of the greatest empire the world has ever known. The year was 73 BCE. Spartacus was a Thracian warrior who had been captured and sold into slavery. He was sent to a gladiatorial school in Capua, a place where men were trained to kill or be killed in the arena. Rome viewed gladiators as less than human, as disposable bodies meant to satisfy the bloodlust of thousands. But Spartacus was different. He possessed military training from his time as a soldier. He understood tactics. He understood leadership. And most importantly, he understood that he had nothing left to lose. One night, Spartacus and 73 other gladiators seized kitchen knives and makeshift weapons. They fought their way out of the school. They escaped into the Italian countryside. Rome expected them to scatter and be recaptured within days. Rome was wrong. Spartacus led his band of escaped slaves to Mount Vesuvius, where they fortified their position. Word of the rebellion spread like wildfire. Thousands of slaves from the surrounding farms and estates abandoned their masters. They flocked to Spartacus. Within months, his army swelled to tens of thousands. These were not trained soldiers. They were shepherds, miners, field workers, and household servants. But under Spartacus, they became something Rome had never anticipated. They became a threat. Rome sent a militia force to crush the rebellion. Spartacus ambushed them and won. Rome sent another force. Spartacus defeated them too. For 2 years, Spartacus and his army rampaged through southern Italy. They defeated Roman legions in open battle. They plundered cities. They freed more slaves. At the height of his power, Spartacus commanded an army estimated at 70,000 men. This was not just a slave revolt. This was a war. Rome's Senate panicked. The rebellion exposed a terrifying truth. The entire Roman economy depended on slave labor. If slaves could rise up and win, the entire social order could collapse. The Senate assigned Marcus Licinius Crassus, one of Rome's richest and most ambitious men, to end the rebellion. Crassus was given 8 legions. He was ruthless. He revived an ancient punishment called decimation, where 1 in every 10 soldiers in a cowardly unit was beaten to death by his own comrades. Crassus wanted his men to fear him more than they feared the enemy. He trapped Spartacus in the toe of Italy's boot near the Strait of Messina. Spartacus tried to negotiate with pirates to ferry his army to Sicily, but the pirates betrayed him. He was cornered. In 71 BCE, the final battle took place. Spartacus knew escape was impossible. He reportedly killed his own horse before the battle, declaring that if he won, he would have plenty of Roman horses to choose from. If he lost, he would not need one. Spartacus fought with savage determination. Ancient sources claim he tried to reach Crassus himself, cutting down soldiers in his path, but he was overwhelmed. Spartacus died on the battlefield. His body was never found. Crassus did not show mercy to the survivors. 6,000 captured rebels were crucified along the Appian Way. Their bodies were left to rot as a warning. The message was clear: This is what happens to those who defy Rome. But the rebellion left scars that Rome could not ignore. The Senate realized that the slave system, for all its economic benefits, was a vulnerability. Rome began to reform its use of slaves in agriculture, reducing the concentration of slaves on large estates. The military also learned harsh lessons. Spartacus had embarrassed Rome's legions. His ability to outmaneuver and defeat trained Roman soldiers forced Rome to rethink its tactics. Military training became more rigorous. The reliance on hastily assembled militias was reconsidered. Rome would not allow itself to be humiliated again. Spartacus also became a symbol. To slaves, he represented the possibility of resistance. To Roman elites, he represented the nightmare of losing control. Ancient historians like Plutarch and Appian wrote about him with a mix of respect and horror. They acknowledged his skill and courage, even as they condemned his rebellion. Spartacus was a paradox. He was a slave who became a general. He was a gladiator who became a legend. His story endures because it reveals something fundamental about power. Spartacus proved that the oppressed, when united and determined, could challenge even the mightiest empire. Rome won the war, but Spartacus won something else. He won immortality. His name became a rallying cry for rebels and revolutionaries throughout history. From the French Revolution to modern movements for freedom, Spartacus has been invoked as a symbol of resistance against tyranny. He did not overthrow Rome. He did not free all slaves, but he exposed Rome's weakness. He forced an empire to confront the cost of its cruelty, and in doing so, he changed history. The arena was meant to break him. Instead, he broke the chains that bound an empire's conscience. If you found this story fascinating, subscribe for more untold chapters from history.